Hello, friends. Akhund Sen of the Sena dynasty was the last of the Hindu kings of Bengal, roughly 820 years ago. Now, why am I starting today's episode with a prehistoric fact? It is because on the 4th of May, Bengali Hindus have proved they are tired of the politics of secularism and appeasement, the type which has been ongoing in Bengal for the last 4 decades. As Suvendu Adhikari said post his resounding victory, Bengali Hindus have overwhelmingly voted for Hindu nationalism. Now, Bengali Hindu nationalism may seem a very odd term for the wokes of today, but in fact, many of the key figures in India for nationalism are Bengali or were Bengali, from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Bankim Chandra to the freedom fighters of Anushanali Shomiti, Gopal Patha, and finally Shama Prasad Mukherjee. Many of these key figures were Bengali Hindus and shaped the ideology of Hindutva as we know it today. But let us not just look at the past, but think about the tectonic shift this resounding victory on the 4th of May has brought for Bengali Hindus and the state of Bengal. It is for the first time since 1977 that we have the same party which is governing both the central and the state governments. Now, that does make this mandate very historic. Of course, the new government will have a lot of challenges. Every part of Bengali society has broken down in the last 2-3 decades, from economy to culture to education. Corruption is everywhere. So, a very, very strong focus on execution of top priorities is what the government needs to focus on, at least for the first 100 days. So, let me share my list of the top 10 priorities for the new BJP government in Bengal. 10 things which have to be done within the first 100 days. They are not in any order, this list, but all are equally important. So stick around till the end, as the 10th one is very important for all of us to do. Number one, law and order. So in the last 2-3 decades, the likes of Sona Pappu, Shaukat Molla and Jahangir have been ruling Bengal, a network of henchmen and goons, patronized by their political masters. Flesh trade, narcotics, syndication, and of course Tolabaji were the only industries in Bengal. The new state government has to cleanse Bengal of these criminal elements, quash their criminal enterprise and the so-called Diamond Harbor model. As someone who has done it successfully said a few years back, if you do not follow the law, be ready to meet Yamraj round the corner. Making Bengal a safe and law-abiding state within the first 100 days has to be top priority. Do we need outside help like Ajay Pal Sharma or some other IPS? Or do we need the CRPF to stay back? Or do we need to clamp down on the border areas? Frankly, the Bengali Hindus don't care. And nobody in Bengal would be against this cleanup of the criminal network that is haunting Bengal today, as long as these criminals are taken off the street and put behind bars or sent to their maker where they belong. At number 2, it's women's safety. That should be very high on the priority list for this new government. Now, the gut-wrenching crimes with women in Bengal in the last 15 years have made headlines everywhere, starting from the Park Street incident in 2012, in Kamduni in 2013, to the dozens of incidents post the 2021 elections. And of course, fresh in our memories, the demonic crime in Arjikot. Bengal in the last 15 years have become synonymous with crimes, heinous crimes against women. So for this new government, it should be quite high on the priority list that they appoint a very, very senior and capable woman minister to look after the crimes against women in the past and also to formulate legislature to prevent such incidents in the future. Maybe this minister can be seconded by a lady IPS officer. But what is required also is strong implementation of such policies and very high conviction rates. It is not sort of strange to know that Bengal has one of the worst conviction rates of crimes against women in the country. How this great land of Ma Durga should never, and I mean never, see such crimes again. The woman voter in this election has made it very clear that they do not care for just 1500 rupees payout. So it is imperative that women's safety is very high on the list of priority for this new government. At number 3, we talk about securing the border. With the BJP now ruling Ongo, Bongo, Kolingo and Tripura, it is time the 600 acres of land required to complete the border fencing is done in a time-bound manner. In the first 100 days, the Bengal border should be sealed, or at least initial work done for the same. And anybody who tries to breach that border illegally should be met with deadly force. Now, while that happens, go ahead and bring about CAA, NRC, or whatever alphabet soup that is required to throw out the Bangladeshi Mias, which TMC has sheltered. It is estimated almost 1 crore illegal Bangladeshis and Rohingyas are staying in Bengal. If you only think that Topshia and Garden Reach or Khidurpur are dominated by Bangladeshis, then not really. Go to Barashat and Modhungram, you'll be shocked. Yes, it's the same area where Suvendu Adhikari's PA Chandranath Roth was brutally murdered a few days back. This area is the epicenter of the Aadhaar card and fake documentation in the last 15 years. Many fake ID cards from Bangladeshis caught across India were issued in this part of Bengal. So the rot is deep and wide. So extended surgical operations are needed to flush out these elements from the state. At number 4, we talk all about infra. Now, unfortunately, Bengal has probably the worst infrastructure of any major state in India. For a state with such huge geographical advantage, we have only one major dilapidated airport, potholed roads, legacy ports, and almost non-existent waterways, and very, very delayed metro projects. Building infra at a rapid scale is a major priority if Bengal has to turn a corner in the next 5 to 10 years. We need to invest heavily in infrastructure, similar to what Uttar Pradesh has done in the last, 5-7 years. But it is not only highways and airports that we need to build. Infrastructure development also has to mean upgrading the colonial era sewage, drain systems, and stormwater systems in Kolkata, suburbs, and other cities. Now, as we all know, Kolkata gets flooded after 1 hour of rain. And the same can be said for areas like Howrah and North Kolkata, which are worse. Infrastructure development also means taking down the crumbling British era buildings and bringing Kolkata out of this poverty-ridden look that it has right. Infrastructure development can change lives and generate huge business opportunities along with massive employment at a major scale. Now, for this new government, having a roadmap of major infrastructure upgrade is very essential in the first 100 days, and it needs to be taken up on mission mode. At number 5, we talk about making Bengal industrial again. Now, unlike what Moho Aunty thinks, Bengal was indeed one of the greatest industrial regions of pre-independent India. Till the 1970s, we had major industries in Bengal, and Bengali entrepreneurship was highly celebrated. From Bengal Chemicals to multiple pharma companies like Days Medical and a vibrant jute industry. Fortunately, post that, since the mid-1970s, we had 32 years of anti-growth, anti-progress communist rule in Bengal. The communists, with their strikes and bunds, killed businesses for 32 years. Post that, the TMC government buried those already dead businesses with their extortion and cut money demands. Now, in 2026, the common man has voted and expects the new government to bring back industries, jobs, and economic growth in Bengal, similar to what has happened in many other metropolitan cities and states in India. With a major strategic advantage due to our geographical location, Bengal should truly be the shining star of Eastern India, if not much more. The new BJP government has to get investments from the major industrial houses to start off with. And I'm talking about the Birlas, the Tatas, the Ambanis, and Adanis, who have avoided Bengal or any major investments in Bengal for the last 40 years. With multiple deep and shallow water ports, educated young working force, Bengal and its industrialization needs to happen really fast. Complement this with a startup-friendly policy and SEZs which encourage young Bengalis to become entrepreneurs and seeks to get back the famed Bengali entrepreneurial spirit which we had in the 1950s and pre-independence. A great step for this would be appointing a pro-industry, knowledgeable minister and top-notch IAS bureaucrat to frame business-friendly policies and execute them at ground level. The first 100 days should see a proper roadmap for the next 10 years. And by the end of the year, we should see a major business summit in Bengal. From agriculture to semiconductor to AI and data center to defense manufacturing, Bengal has the scope for all industries to make in Bengal and sell to the world. The new government needs to sell this idea to the business world throughout India and globally. At number 6, we talk about healthcare. It is suffice to say that the healthcare system in Bengal is dead. It has been for some time. Now, that is true at every level of the healthcare system in Bengal. Government hospitals are almost killer zones, both in Kolkata, the suburbs, smaller towns and villages, it is much worse. Rampant corruption, poor or non existent facilities have made Bengal healthcare or healthcare in Bengal abysmal. Surprisingly, private hospitals are not great either. Almost 30% of all patients in the AIMS at Bhubaneswar is from rural Bengal. Similarly, higher percentage of patients can be seen at Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Gurugram, all hailing from different sections of society in Bengal. Now, this is quite surprising as many hospitals across India and indeed globally, some of the best doctors are from Bengal and are Bengali. If the new government is able to fix this healthcare problem, or you can say healthcare epidemic in both the public and private sectors, then along with the welfare of the people, a major revenue boost can also happen. Now, this is due to the influx of patients from neighboring countries and from Africa and Europe. So, what is the need of the hour? It is a super administrator with deep knowledge of the healthcare system who should be appointed as a health minister and hopefully can deliver the healthcare infrastructure at different levels, which people across Bengali society really need. Fixing healthcare will fix a lot of things that is wrong in the present day government and setup. At number 7, we talk about agriculture, which needs a reboot, a complete reboot. And by agriculture, I mean farming, poultry, and pisciculture or fish farming. All three were major areas of economic growth and self-independence for Bengal in the past, 30 years or so. But in the last 10 years, that has completely changed. For a culture which prides itself on having the best fish recipes, most of the fishes sold in Bengal's major markets come from outside the state, be it from Andhra or Odisha, Tamil Nadu, and most recently from Gujarat. Yes, you heard that right. The so-called dhokla eaters now provide us with most of the hilsa that we consume. Eggs for a long time come from Andhra. And of course, on the farming side, dal and other lentils come from Punjab, Haryana, and UP. Now, one of the major reasons for this downfall is no doubt the corruption in the previous government. But also, a major reason is the lack of modern machinery in farms in Bengal. It can be said that Bengal agriculture is almost 20 years behind other states. And the new government has a major task in their hands to revamp agriculture in Bengal. Frankly, I doubt 100 days is enough, but at least the policy formation and most importantly, taking out the middlemen and the extortionists from the farming system, from the wholesale system, should be a great start. Bengal should not be dependent for consumption of fishes, should not be dependent for poultry, and should not be dependent for other major grains. We should be independent as we were a few decades back. And fixing this agriculture system is super high priority, hopefully, for Suvendu and his team. At number 8, let's talk about education. Now, it is something that we all have heard. Once upon a time, it used to be remarked, what Bengal thinks today, India thinks tomorrow. Fortunately, that is not the case today. And one of the major reasons for Bengal's downfall is what has happened to education in Bengal. In a recent survey of class 10 and 12 students, almost 60% stated that they would be leaving Bengal and migrating to another state for higher studies. Started with the communists who, started this destruction of the education system by banning English from schools and introducing politics in colleges. Our TMC government, of course, have ensured that it remains in the dumps. Almost all government colleges have crumbling infrastructure, a toxic student political environment, and almost zero facilities for meritorious students to excel. The fact that 26,000 teachers were scammed out of their jobs have not helped things. Now, that scam was 10 years ago. So imagine the situation today. Lack of funding, brain drain of senior professors, and meritorious students to other states have plunged the future of Bengal's children into darkness. A culture where Ma Saraswati is welcomed in every home is now bottom of the list in education. This is unacceptable and has to be changed. But it won't be easy, because the moment the government is serious about the cleanup of the education system, both the communists and TMC will resist it wholeheartedly. But if we have to see a new dawn in Bengal, and if we are serious about the future of our children, education is really high priority list. The penultimate, or number 9, is about the soft power of Bengal. And frankly, it's something close to my heart. Now, there was a time not too much in the past when Bengali culture, intellect, music, movies, art, and much more were considered the gold standard and widely celebrated across India and globally. But the last 20 years have seen all this being lost. Now, if we ask ourselves, how many Bengali songs have become major national hits in the last 2 decades? Which Bengali movie or movie star has a national fan following across different states and languages? In spite of the fact that we have one of the most diverse cuisines in India, Bengali food is not been able to get the attention past the occasional, Kolkata biryani or Koshamang reference. Why? The reason is very simple. As we have seen an overall decline in our economic scale, we have also seen a major decline in our soft power. It is time to change that. The Bengali movie and music industry, firstly, needs to be freed from the grasp of TMC and its gang of thugs. Filmmakers in Bengal and actors should feel free to work on the best movies again, produce them, act in them, direct them. Similarly, the greatest music of our land, from Rabindra Sangeet to Baul Gan to Nam Kirtan, needs to be made mainstream again. Bengal's beautiful arts, katha embroidery, terracotta, painting, dokra metal casting, needs to be shared throughout the country and globally. When it comes to food, the injustice of just equating Bengali food with the Kolkata biryani or just a fish curry, that needs to be rectified, boss. It is a million times more. We need to showcase to the world our delicacies, which they have not heard, they have not experienced. Get the dap chigri out. Get people introduced to shukto. Sweets are not just rasgulla, makha sandesh, ledikini, sitabhog. The world needs to know about them, and they need to be marketed from Bengal. A great example is, South Korea in this soft power. They have taken over the world of music, OTT, food. Now, if they can do that, why can't Bengal? With a much more diverse, refined, soft cultural power. Bengal's unique and diverse culture deserves much wider recognition and is also a major revenue generation for many people in Bengal. This, I really hope, happens in the next 5 years. Now, who can be a brand ambassador for that? Definitely not Shah Rukh. But who that will be, how that roadmap will be set, and who will lead that from the government is something that the first 100 days should give us an indication. But I really hope that this BJP government thinks about marketing Bengal's soft power throughout the country. The 10th point, or the final one in today's video, is not something for the government to do. Rather, it is for the people of Bengal to deliver. If you are thinking, Amra ki korbo? Yes, we the people who now have the responsibility to work very, very hard. If today you are happy electing a new government and hoping there will be economic prosperity and jobs in Bengal, then please understand, we need to work to make things happen. The new dawn we are excited about will seem scary at first, as many things will change. But we, the people, need to have patience and work hard. Do not get angry when the government mandates staff to report to office at 9 a.m. Do not curse the government when it removes illegal migrants, resulting maybe in less maids and gig workers in the state. Do not get stressed when colleges and universities prioritize education over the environment of party and politics that is today. Do not feel inconvenient when traffic diversions happen to build much needed infrastructure. All these changes will initially be distressing to us, but it is much needed to trigger the major work cultural shift that Bengal really needs the most. Very sadly to say this, but the days of bhat goom that we are under for the last many decades are over. If we have to overcome the apathy of these few decades, the medicine that is required will initially taste very, very bitter. For this reviving Bengal mission, every Bengali needs to believe in the 3 mantras of Sahosh, Atmabishwas, and Punarutthan. And as the greatest Bengali once said, arise, awake, and stop, not until the goal is reached. This is our time, and our hard work in the next few years, and of course, the government's honesty and dedication will decide which direction will we go. Hopefully, the government will take things seriously. They will be led honestly by competent ministers and bureaucrats. And we, the people, will back it up with patience and hard work. So that's all for today, guys. Now, if you have a different list of priorities for the new government, I would really like to know. So please do share in the comments. And while you're there, give us a follow and a like. So till the next time, take care and see you in the next video.